Living in Boston means living in a shoebox. There's no room for a clean zoom background that looks nice and professional. Or maybe I'm just being lazy and cheap. So how can you upgrade your zoom background without spending a lot of time or money upgrading your setup? Well, it's easy with the power of AI. Hey everyone, my name is Oscar and I share tips on how to make amazing marketing videos. So if you're new here, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Today, I want to improve my zoom background with minimal effort, so I'll be testing out the top 3 AI image generation tools out there: RunwayML, Midjourney, and Photoshop. I'm going to be walking you step by step on how to be using the Inpainting tool of these tools and see which one of them can create the best zoom background. Let's dive in. Inpainting is a technique that allows you to edit images with AI. You can remove the background, add objects, or even restore damaged images. It is commonly used for image and artwork restoration, like classical pieces that have been damaged over time, but today we're gonna use them to upgrade our zoom background. The first step is to take a reference picture of what our background looks like so I can input it into the tools. Using QuickTime, I quickly took a video of what my webcam is seeing, then I selected one of the frames from the video and cropped out everything except this part of the wall. This is important as the AI models will start looking at the image and filling out with the missing parts. If I leave some of the objects that are in the room, it will use them and try to replace them with something similar, which usually doesn't look okay. Now, let's have fun. RunwayML is a web-based platform that lets you create and edit videos with different AI models. They also have a suite of image generation tools that we'll be using today. Let's start with Expand Image. The UI here is pretty simple. You upload the image that you have, in our case the cropped picture, select the aspect ratio and scale it. It will start creating something immediately. You can also add a quick prompt if you want to give it more context about what is going on in the image or what do you want to generate. In this case we're selecting 0.5x and a widescreen aspect ratio. As you can see, it comes up with different ideas right off the bat. You can click generate again to modify the prompt or download it if you like it. For me, the results look a bit funky and weird, and let's keep in mind, since I'll be sitting around this area, this needs to look very clean. So let's try it again, maybe this time with a prompt. I can see that there's some plants here and I could see myself living here. Not ideally, but you know, it could be if we're a little bit cramped. So let's save this image. Another tool that we can take advantage of is the Infinite Image. This tool gives you more granular control about the different parts of the image that you want to modify or generate, since you're gonna be building it block by block. You can start from scratch or upload your image. We'll add our cropped image, select the frames with a lid of overlap so that it takes into account the context around it when creating the new frames. Here, we need to input a prompt and start building. Runway AI gives you 4 different options to choose from, but they can be very hit or miss, as you're seeing here. It's a lot of trial and error, especially when you're inputting the prompt. Make sure that it is clearly referencing what you want to see from the image. So after some trial and error, I arrived to something that might be something. Again, it's pretty hard because you're building it block by block. It doesn't take into account the overall context or the overall frame, as it is just kind of like making it up as you go and then ending up with like a Frankenstein of an image. So overall, not fully satisfied with Runway. I don't think that it lives up to the hype that it has or to the quality of their video tools. The image is like an added on. So let's go to Midjourney. Midjourney is a Discord-based platform that lets you remix and edit images with AI. It is by far my favorite image generation tool. If you have seen any images out there that are professional looking, they were probably created by Midjourney. I totally recommend you stop by their page and check out the gallery because there's people doing some really amazing stuff with this tool. So let's test it out. Getting started is super easy, although it takes some time to achieve the results that you want. You can input an image as a reference and it will start creating images similar to that reference one, but modified by the prompt that you give them. Usually I like to start with a simple prompt, see where it takes me, and then if I need more specific details or a little bit of inspiration, I would ask another AI like Bing. Here we see that right off the bat we're getting better results than with Runway. Everything here looks super clean and really nice. I would love if any of these pictures would be my actual apartment because they look so neatly organized. And what I like the most is that it is still keeping the same structure of the picture. So we have the door in the middle that is not moving, and then it's building a world around it. One thing to keep in mind, you need to match the direction of the light from the original image. As you can see, the light in the room is coming from the left. Therefore, we need to focus on getting images in which the light is also coming from the left, because otherwise it will look very wacky if you try to replace them in the zoom background. Here I don't really have a reference on how much to create because again I have the crop picture, so I want to make sure that I have enough detail available in order to cover the zoom space. Overall, I'm really happy with the results. I think they're high quality and really clean. The only issue that I'm seeing is that the original part of the image is not exactly the same. These are doors but are a bit different, so matching it back might be a little bit challenging. Let's jump into the final tool, which is Photoshop. Photoshop is a powerhouse. This is my go-to image editing tool, and recently they introduced their generative fill tool, which blew the internet. It lets you add, remove, and modify images using just simple prompts with AI. And if you're not happy with it, you can modify it further using the traditional powerful tools, all inside Photoshop. So the first step here is to input my image and to use the generative expand feature. Here you also get the option to give it a prompt to let Photoshop guess based on the content of the original image. What I like the most here is that it gives you different options and you can regenerate or modify the prompt as needed, and everything is nicely saved in this history panel. So the first results that I got were pretty bad. It was trying to fill in the side table over here, so I had to remove it to let it start from a cleaner plate. When asked to generate a new background with a blank prompt, it gave me some pretty sketchy looking backgrounds, I guess because it didn't have much to play around with, but I would have loved a little bit more creativity or flair to the design. So the next step was to create using a prompt. I asked Bing again for a descriptive prompt for a nice background. While the results were looking pretty good, there was a big problem. Most of them had a couch and a bed covering the door. Which is fine, I guess, if I was sitting in the bed, but no matter how much I modified the prompt, I would always get some furniture right where the door was and where my face would be. So at the end, I really simplified the prompt, and I got this looking thing. There's still some wacky stuff going on around the floor, but I hope that that will be out of the frame for Zoom. So I give Photoshop overall a great usability rating. My favorite part is that you can use the tools that you already know from Photoshop mixed with this new generative AI to modify it to your liking and specifically select and change different regions of the image. Even though the quality is not as good as Midjourney's, it is catching up really quickly, so I'm really excited to see where it goes next. So the last step is to match all of the different perspectives of these new images back into the perspective of the original Zoom background. As you can see, some of the Midjourney designs had the door too much to one side, so I had to end up filling it with Photoshop as well. Another thing to keep in mind is the lighting of the background. Because Midjourney created the designs from scratch, it ended up modifying the lighting values of the background. So as you can see, the values on the original door are a bit brighter and with a bit of an orange hue, which isn't present in the Midjourney images. Therefore, we need to compensate so it looks more natural when placed as a Zoom background. And that's it. Here's a sample of the different backgrounds that we were able to create with all of these AI tools. I say again that Photoshop was probably my favorite one because it gave me all of the different tools that I needed in order to accomplish the task, but overall quality, Midjourney hands down produced some of the best results and the best backgrounds. So I know that these tools are still in development, so I'm really excited to see where they take us and keep testing these tools in the future. I hope this gives you a better idea of how these image generating tools work and how you can apply them to your own workflow, and hopefully motivate you to start experimenting on your own. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I have more videos coming up that will help you elevate your video and your marketing skills to a new level. Until next time.